name's Austin Swartz. So former player for HSU from 2010 to 2015. Now I'm the current men's assistant coach.
So can you tell me a little bit about your childhood and growing up? You had two brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how that maybe had an effect on your liking of soccer and all that.
Yeah. Well, I was from a small town outside of Sacramento called Cameron Park, and there wasn't really anything going on, so we just were always active. We played like every sport, and then none of us were very tall, and we were all good at running, so basketball and baseball just kind of like stopped happening, and then we just started playing soccer, and then my youngest brother's coach actually played pro soccer, and then he told us that we should all start playing, and then we just got into it, and that's all we really did, like all of high school. So then just kind of took us to where we're at now. So my HSU career was pretty good. It was good because there was a lot of good and a lot of bad, so it kind of showed me all aspects of life through soccer, I guess. So that was good. My first few years, I was like one of the younger guys on the team, and then as I got older, obviously my role changed, and that was fun because there was like success, so it wasn't. I didn't feel like I failed at any point, so that was good. Arcata, California. At first, I really, really liked it, and then I kind of disliked it, and now I've like really, really enjoyed it again. It's a very different place, obviously. A lot different from where I'm from, so that was cool. And I think as I get older, I appreciate it more. It's more of like a laid-back, open-minded kind of spot, so I like that as I get older. And been here like 6 years now, so it's been a good ride. Definitely enjoying Arcata, so got a few more years left in me, so see how that goes.
So speaking of those few more years left and the already massive years that you're building on here,
Oh yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about Fred coming in as the second coach, or maybe even the third coach that you kind of had at this place and on this team and this program, and also how maybe your captaincy in your senior year kind of led towards the decision of you just joining him as a coach.
Cool. Yeah. I got recruited by CJ, who's the old coach. So it was cool that I got recruited by CJ. Then when Fred came, I still fit the way that he wanted to play, and he still liked me. So it wasn't a weird kind. I didn't have that transition of like maybe the coach doesn't like me kind of thing. So that was lucky on my part. But Fred's been really good for our program, and I think he's taken it in the right direction. And I think being captain my senior year, I don't think it necessarily helped because I've always wanted to be a college coach. So I kind of knew that going into it. But I think since I knew for a long time I wanted to coach, I think that helped me better being a captain more than the captain helping me be a better coach. So I think because I did like coaching courses and things while I was still playing. So I think I kind of had both perspectives from as a coach while I was playing. So it just made it easier. I think I was a lot more coachable because I knew what coaches wanted.
It didn't take you a minute in college to figure out you wanted to coach. You always wanted to coach.
Yeah, I wanted to coach from high school. I always liked like the job of a college coach. I always liked basketball and football coaches, to be honest. And I like the recruiting and kind of like the school, not the school spirit. I don't really care about the spirit, but I like the school kind of vibe and like mentality and that kind of thing. And I don't really want to do professional. It kind of takes the fun away from it. But I think a college coach has always been like a cool job. And then soccer is just what I kind of excelled at, I guess, and then played in college, so it kind of made me eligible to be a college soccer coach. And then obviously I like soccer a lot more than those two other sports, but yeah.
You mentioned recruiting. What do you like about recruiting? And tell me a little bit about your experiences so far.
I like recruiting because you kind of can put together. I've been on a lot of teams, but I wasn't always a fan of the teams I was on. I didn't like hate my teams or anything, but I was always like, if I kind of had more control of it, I would maybe put this person in that place, or But recruiting's fun because you kind of get to scout out and pick your team and pick how you think is the most effective way to win games with different players. And so far, it's been good. We've signed a few kids already that I think are really good, and it's cool that kind of being in the position, since I'm at Humboldt, I can kind of do a lot right away, as opposed to if I was at a bigger school, I wouldn't have as much of a say. But Fred's given me a good amount of like input on guys, and for the most part we agree, so it works out pretty well. But it's been good as far as like traveling, going and seeing games, and hopefully what I'm seeing is like effective and works out. And hopefully it's not just me having this kind of fictional coaching utopia vision of what works and what doesn't. But so far it's been good.
Cool. So anybody who's followed the soccer team this year, seen the records or the numbers or the scores or anything like that, knows that it was a very unsuccessful year for the team.
Yeah.
And definitely not a year that we were all looking forward to. We all had much different plans in mind. But for you personally, what was it like as your first season as a coach with Fred?
It was hard watching the games in the sense because I still played with all the guys that were on the team. We had a big senior class, and were all guys I went to school with for like 4 or 5 years. So it was kind of hard seeing them not fail, because I don't think it was a failure at all, just losing in the last bits and just kind of like I felt for them more as like on a friendship level than a coach level, because I don't really see them as like my players or anything. But it was kind of hard to see just some of the guys go out that way. And I mean, we played really well, we just didn't get the results. So it was hard being part of a team last year with pretty much the same focus and players that was a lot more successful, and then kind of seeing it take a little bit of a dive. But I mean, it was just more hard on like a friend-to-friend level than a coach-player level, because I mean, realistically, however the season went, it didn't have an influence on me as a coach because I'm so new to it. Nothing really would have. We could have won every game or lost every game, and it would have been the same kind of deal. But it was just more hard seeing some of my best friends kind of go through that more than anything. So